Ask me about the symbols used in baptism. Right, what are the symbols used in baptism? Oil, candle, garments, and water. Oil, candle. Yeah, good. But you've got to start with water. In fact, if you talk about nothing, talk about water. If you talk about that, doesn't make sense. Okay, I'll talk about water. Good. And then talk about the candle. And if you've got time for the other two, great. But you can just mention those in passing. Water and the candle are really important. Okay, so water, which is the matter of baptism, is the outward sign which affects the inward grace of what actually happens. What does it do? Well, it washes away original sin. Okay, great. So we've got a link to original sin there. Any other links you can make? Well, it links to Noah's Ark and the crossing of the Red Sea in the Old Testament, both of which remind us of the power of water, that water is a sign of life and death. Great, brilliant. So let's go from the top there. You've said that water is a symbol of life and death, that it washes away original sin, that it links to the story of Noah's Ark and the crossing of the Red Sea. Great, now move forward to the New Testament. Well, in the New Testament, we see Jesus himself being baptized in water and instituting it as a sacrament that actually does wash away sin. But also, okay, so we're washing away sin. That's life, right? So water is this sign of life. It's this sign of death. We die with Jesus in our baptism. Yeah, that's right. We die with Jesus. So water helps us die with Jesus. Okay, water helps us die with Jesus. Come on, get it out. Where does Jesus die? Where does Jesus die? On the cross. So in baptism, by going into the water, we die with Jesus on the cross. Good, but what's the next part of the story? And then we rise with him on Easter in new life. Okay, good. So that's it. So you can talk about this first theme you've got going here of water being a symbol of death and new life. You can link it to all those stories, and then that's when you can make the connection to the candle, which comes next. Okay, so I've done all the water stuff. Then I'm going to talk about the candle. So at a baptism, we have the baptismal candle, a little candle, and the paschal candle. Spell it. Paschal. Good. So carry on, Paschal candle. Well, so new life, water, blah, 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 death, and so on and so on. Easter. Yeah, so the Paschal candle is lit at Easter, at the Easter vigil, this great sign of the resurrection and Jesus being the light which destroys sin and death. And that light is passed to us in our baptism so that we can share in that new life, but also spread the light of Jesus in the darkness of the world.